Okay. Welcome everybody to the referral challenge Q&A mastermind call for Friday, September 29th. Updates, not a whole lot, just a little bit behind on some things. We've got a few things coming out next week. Going to give you guys a Smart Start posting schedule. I know that was one of the things Shondell had requested earlier. Just in terms of just sort of delineating what needs to be posted and when in your Smart Start, in your Get Fit Your Town group. Just so you're clear on that, obviously you can adapt it to your needs, but we want to give you some guidelines so that there's at least more clarity. The Habit Maker hard copy book will be ready on Friday. We've got a good fulfillment house to use. We're going to use Lulu instead of the other one. Some of you might have heard of Lulu.com. They do a really good job. They're very professional, very much easier to deal with. We can get exactly what we want. It's like $1 more expensive per piece, but personally, I think it's worthwhile because you get a better looking product. You can make it spiral bound, which is better for a journal type thing, much easier to use than a perfect bound book. So we're going to use Lulu, although you can use anybody you want. You can use Kinko's if you want to. It's completely up to you, but that's who I'm going to recommend. And then a 30-day marketing plan for Smart Start. Just Wayne Salter had a great idea, and then Sean Eichhorn chimed in on it. These basically just coming up with some different topics of interest that you can post about and build out a posting schedule. And I'm talking about in terms of driving leads into your group and just for your business in general. But we're going to make this specifically about the group, but it can be adapted for that. So it'll be a 30-day plan that can be used sort of in an evergreen way. Apparently I'm having some voice issues. So that's all the updates I've got. Aaron, do you have anything? No? Okay. All right, cool. Well, then let's rock and roll. Let's get started here. Mike, I'm going to start with you. And for those of you who haven't been on the call before, the way we do this is we just go around the horn. I just want to get an update from you. Give us a little bit of information about how things are going, and then any issues or questions you've got that you want help with. And it's not just me and Aaron helping, it's everybody. This is truly a mastermind environment. So you can expect help from everybody on the call pretty much. So Mike, give us an update. How are things going with you, and any questions we can help you with?
Everything's going really well, I feel like, right now. So I've been working with Aaron. Aaron's been working a lot with me, actually. Spent quite a few hours together the last few days on the product, which I'm feeling pretty happy with and confident with. So I'm really been putting a lot of work with that. I actually met with the owner of the building today too. I know we talked about the lease situation. So knock on wood, that was a pretty good meeting. I actually still not 100% confident. We haven't signed anything yet, but I got him actually to agree to come down $1 a square foot from what I'm paying right now. And what he told me was just to work out the bathroom locker room situation, that we share locker rooms with the other guy next door, work that out between the two of us. And then if we're both happy with that, then he's okay with it too. And he's going to separate the leases, and I'll be paying $1 less a square foot, which means that I could actually expand our facility by add another at least 1,200 square feet and really only increase the rent by like $200. So that'll be pretty awesome, which will allow us to do so much more with our adult training at night, with our team training at night. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm just unsure of, so I went and met with the guy next door, the guy who I still lease from now, and I was able to talk him into an agreement of just paying to have the locker rooms cleaned. We'll pay, that's all we're going to do is pay twice bi-weekly. Bi-weekly we'll have the locker rooms cleaned, which is like $40 to have the cleaners come in to do our facility anyway. So I'm just going to have him go over and do that as well. And he agreed with that. But I for some reason, I have a weird feeling that, it's possible that the guy next door had said to the owner that, hey, Mike's paying $2 more a square foot for the space than what I'm paying, take the extra money. Because he said, the last thing he told me, I called him back, told him I had that conversation with the guy next door and everything. He said, all right. He said, perfect. He said, I just want to go over all the numbers this weekend. He said, I'll get everything kind of taken care of, make sure everything works, and I'll get everything over to you middle of the week next week. So part of me is wondering if there's something in terms of, because I got him to come down that $1 a square foot, if that $2 extra per square foot was going to actually come off of his rent next door. And that's kind of a weird situation, but it's where we're at, but definitely better than what I had expected. I know it's definitely getting separated. I told him that, you know, I know that I'm paying more per square foot than what the guy is paying that I'm subleasing from. I know that, but I'm willing to pay. This is what I'm willing to pay, and I'm willing to stay for 5 years, and I'm willing to take on another 1,200 square feet, minimum of 1,200 square feet in the back. The building's 66,000 square feet, so we'll be occupying about almost 6,000 square feet.
Nice.
Yeah, but it'll add 1,200 square feet of training space, which would be great for us because we're packed at night. We're full. Can't do adult. I can't do group training, large group training at night, and I can't do team training at night because we're completely full with semi-private, which is awesome. But there was only during that time slot between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. It's not like there's extra hours. So if you're not going to be able to get any teams in during that time, or you can't get large group adult training in during that time, when else are you going to get them in? So the only other answer is more space.
My only thing that I would say is, are you completely happy with the deal you got worked out?
If everything goes so if he comes back to me with what we said today, I'll be happy because I'm going to add that 1,200 square feet and my rent's only going to increase by $200 a month. Then
if you get that, I wouldn't give a damn what he works out with the other guy. Just go with what you got and be happy with that because you got what you need. Yeah, the thing that throws me off, Rick, a little bit is that he said that he wanted me and the other guy to come to agreement first before he signs up on any of the paperwork between us. He wanted us to come to agreement on the locker rooms first. So I don't know if it's just he wants to keep – because that guy subleases 12,000 square feet. He only wants to stay for 2 years. I want to stay for 5. So I know that he probably wants to keep him happy as well because he doesn't want to lose him as a tenant either. So that's it. I mean, but as far as my conversation today with the guy next door, everything's good with that. I called him back, let him know. You know, I attacked it right away. As soon as we finished that meeting today, I went right over. We had a conversation today, and we're good on that. So I'm going to wait to see what he comes back with. Hopefully, he'll come back and say, all right, it's a done deal. Let's sign the paperwork and make it happen that way. Got my fingers crossed that there's no curveballs thrown in next week.
Yeah.
But I'll be ready for it if they are. So.
It sounds good. It sounds like you got what you set out to get. You know, there's a little bit of uncertainty, but for the most part, you're sitting. Yeah,
definitely positive. Definitely a positive meeting. I feel good about that.
Excellent. Well, that's great, man.
That's about it. Haven't been able to work on much else other than that because those things have been taking up a lot of my time. But everything else has been pretty good. Now's our slow time of the year. A lot of our athletes are back at college. So now's the time that I can get a little bit more of this stuff done. But I haven't got really secured the Facebook page and all that stuff, but I haven't really done anything with that yet. I'm waiting to be able to go full bore with that.
Okay. All right, good. And the product you mentioned, so Aaron's writing the sales letter for you. That's great. You're guaranteed to get a top-notch copy. That's fantastic, which will boost sales dramatically. For those folks who aren't familiar with it, that are new on the call, just mention again. And listen, I want to say, for both you and Aaron, I have no personal attachment to that name, that wow factor thing. So you change, Aaron, you know, you do what you feel is right. Don't feel like you got to keep anything just because it was my idea.
Thank you.
Yeah. But so Mike, just tell folks what it is you're creating.
So the admin product is actually a product that I've created over the past year, or just about a year, that has really transformed my business. It's streamlined everything for me for the admin process, all the tedious behind the scenes paperwork type stuff you have to do with contracts and leads and emails and people slipping through the cracks and over delivering a consistent experience that was so hard to do on a regular basis. That was eating up hours and hours of my time. I was able to streamline that, and our admin, it's so efficient. I was just getting some numbers together for Aaron. It has actually reduced my admin payroll. So we've increased revenue in the past year almost 35%. And we reduced our admin payroll by 75% in that time. And our process has been streamlined dramatically. So we don't have wasted time when the admin comes through the door. They come through and I onboard them in less than 2 hours, and they can literally be running our whole front office in less than 2 hours. So it's been a life changer for me, for sure. And I think it's going to help a lot of people as well.
That's beautiful. It is exciting. It's exciting. And like I said, I'd be surprised if this isn't a blockbuster, big time seller. I think so. Good. Congratulations on all that, man. That sounds.
It's a great product. I've been blessed that Mike gave me a sneak peek at it, guys, and it's dynamite. Matter of fact, Mike, I meant to reach out to you now that I have you here. Did you want my testimonial written or video?
I think video would probably be great. Video would be awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that.
Well, matter of fact, I guess I should ask Aaron.
Ask Aaron, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm greedy like that. I want both.
Okay.
And,
thanks a lot, Rick. I appreciate that.
This product, Adrian, for sure, I want you getting this product when it launches, dude. I mean, if you're going to get a admin anytime soon,
I will tell you firsthand. I've been through it and everything, and it is going to be a game changer. I know, Adrian, it's what you need. Calvin, I can't see you, but that picture of you, but I know it's what you need as well.
What's up, fam? How you doing? Good.
Calvin's psyched for that product. So he was on board the minute he heard about it. All right, good deal. Well, let's keep moving then. Jeremy, I'm going to.
Yes, I am. Give it to me.
Jeremy, I'm going to go to you. So just for those that don't know you on the call, just give folks a little bit of background on what kind of business you run, and then let us know if there's any issues, problems that we can help you with.
Okay, so first off, I want to know if I need to get the all-white T-shirt memo from you and Aaron. Is that a casual Friday look? Do I need to be aware of that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, brother.
I'll dress down out of my red next Friday, but as Eric said, I'm Eric for.
Yeah, I was just
thanks.
The red power shirt on, dude. It's like the red power kind. You just got the red power shirt.
I figured first time I should come in, and feel confident,
Yeah, that's right.
So a little bit of background on me. I've known Eric for, probably 8-9 years now, and have been in business for 10 years. Was kind of locked into a bad situation for 8 years at a large facility. Left and opened up about a 2,500 square foot facility for primarily semi-private training. So 6 people or less. We did that 2 years ago. I work with his much better half, Camellia, as my private coach, and been with her for forever as well. Where we're at right now is probably like most of you is leads. We're desperate for leads. We have a great base, have been with us many years. And so we're working on the Smart Start. We've started building out a lot of the stuff in there. So I actually have a question specific to, I guess it's it sounds like the video. I think it's the video that I recorded for the landing page on the Smart Start, but there's a section in for the Facebook when they first go to that initial post, and it says go to your Habit Maker free report, and I couldn't seem to find, because I know it's supposed to be the 21-day charity donation to be a part of that. Am I missing something there?
Yeah, yeah. So because you're in the middle group, you're in 2.1. So I can understand your confusion. So this Habit Maker is separate and distinct from the Habit Maker Challenge, the 21-day program. This is just I just happen to use the same name, but a Habit Maker accountability system. We will integrate the two at some point, but right now, try not to confuse the two. I needed to be clearer about that. So when we talk about the Habit Maker accountability system within the Smart Start program, that's essentially 2 things. It's the journal, the 7-minute victory journal, and your autoresponder sequence, that whatever you build out. I started it off for you, but whatever you build out. So it's essentially just to give them more accountability and give them a cool tool which you can build a lot of information around it, and that's the journal itself. So there is no charitable donation needed. The only charitable donation tied to Smart Start, to the Get Fit Your Town stuff, is when they show up at a workout. When they come in for your charity workout, it's $10 for them to work out with you. That's it. Now, if you wanted to do more and integrate the entire charity challenge, you could, but I would encourage you not to complicate things at this point, just to keep it simple.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I just wasn't sure because I'd started initially with the Habit Maker and built out some of that, and then we decided to go, let's do the Smart Start and let's build all of that. And so when I saw the name, I think that's where the confusion came in. So that makes sense. So it is a free thing to capture their email, put them into that autoresponder sequence. That's great.
Right. Good.
Okay. Great.
Good. Okay. And so are you guys, that's good. You're gearing up for that. You've seen the marketing, the initial marketing to sort of get that thing launched. I would just recommend to you to, well, you don't have to go back and listen to it. I'll just sort of paraphrase for you. But Chris Gray is right now, he's in the group. I don't know if you know Chris or not. But,
yeah, I know Chris.
Okay. So he's done, oh, yeah, right. You know him from the MPE days. Yeah. He's moving fast with his group, and he's doing a lot with partners. He drove in a lot of people from his current clients and got them to refer and things like that. But he's also working quite a bit with partners and filling his group pretty dramatically that way. He's already generated a couple clients out of it. So I would encourage you to look at the partnering side as well, Jeremy. Okay.
Yeah, I went to his. I searched through some of the referral on the Facebook group and went through some of his stuff and saw like at minute 25, he was talking about the physical therapist, I guess that was next door. So that gave me some really good stuff to work on, especially that partner piece. So I'll definitely do that.
Awesome. Very good. All right. Anything else we can help you with?
No, I'm just excited to be here. Glad to be a part of it and looking forward to driving some leads in.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, brother. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mike, let me jump down to you, not Mike Fernandez, the other Mike down here. Give us a little bit of background and any questions, issues you've got, and that we can help you with.
Sure. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on my iPhone. So
yep.
Okay. So run a semi-private I run a split business, actually. We work with Gen Pop and athletes in Scranton, Pennsylvania. About a 5,500 square foot facility. Been going pretty well, except this past month when the colleges went back and kids went back to school. We had a rough year. We graduated about 14 seniors from high school that we lost from our yearly semi-private contracts. Had some freak stuff happen in the morning, and as far as losing some clients, as far as just work stuff, sickness, things like that. Not anything to do with the business according to them, but actually lost 2 staff members as well. One that got very ill and one that just moved on to a different career. So been in the business a lot more than I've expected lately. But I've kind of looked at this, I guess my question, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I kind of view this as an opportunity as like a forest fire where we can kind of burn off some things that have maybe kind of taken over the business a little too much, and then allow us to kind of realign ourselves to something more efficient. We did semi-private training initially where it was 4 to 5 clients per trainer with individualized programming. That kind of got on top of us a little bit because we trained the athletes. So we had these tough time periods where everybody still got individualized programming. But, what we're looking at doing now is doing a pretty significant rate hike of maybe 10%, and then keeping our numbers back down again, considering that staff is smaller, until we can make an educated hire. And, along with that, just adding more value in with periodic, more frequent periodic reassessments and nutrition coaching. So I'm also a registered dietitian, and that's kind of one of the things that got away from us too, was that we started kind of giving away I gave away my services for nutrition quite a bit. So right now I'm in this situation where I'm understaffed and a little less revenue coming in from some of the athlete hits and some of the client losses. And now I'm a little overworked. So we're kind of in the process now of throwing out trying to figure out how to introduce a rate hike, and then maybe seeing if we can realign to something more manageable business wise. I know it's kind of a lot to swallow. It's a lot to say as I'm saying it. It's a lot, but just been a weird past couple 6-8 weeks, I guess. So, which is why I wanted to start getting on the calls and start holding myself accountable and getting my own time under control, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. And it's when it rains, it pours. That's just the way it is. But you've got the right attitude. I mean, this is an opportunity, and that's how I think you got to view problems as opportunities in disguise, and you just got to figure out the right plan of attack. And there isn't necessarily just one. There could be many. But I always, when you say rate hike, what you said 10%, but what's your base right now? You're going from what? What's your base?
So right now, our average price is for semi-private ranges from as low as depending. So if you're 3 times a week, we go as low as $15 a session and as high as $22 a session. So it runs from $199 to $265. And then where we run into issues, we do okay with referrals, a lot of family referrals, but then we get family discounts. So sometimes, we start running into that $15 session turns into, 14 or 13 on the average. And then now you're starting to play a numbers game because, you want to please a family that might be giving you $500 to $700, $800 a month. But you're also encroaching on that semi-private model where you're also trying to fit people in during that time and still keep the quality of service and still, kind of be a man of your word and say, yeah, there's only so many clients per trainer. So, with, the overhead and admin and trainers and, whatever payroll, I mean, sometimes, when you start to get those lower ticket prices, it's nice to have long-term contract value. We do 3, 6, and 12-month contracts, but at the same time, the overall, profit per session isn't quite as high.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just trying to figure out who's getting the background noise from.
It's me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Bill. If you could just mute yourself. All right. So yeah. Anybody have any feedback from Mike specifically about this? Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
Mike, what I think you need to do when it comes to raising your rates is make sure that you are adding value to your programs to justify it. I think that's the big key is what are you going to do to add value to everything you're doing? You just said you're an RD, so like when I did it, it had something to do with nutrition. It was a natural marriage to add value to all of my programs when I decided I'm raising my rates. And then when you do that, you're going to lose some people, obviously, that just don't want to pay the higher rates. But then the next thing you do is you have some sort of workshop or seminar based on nutrition, and you get all your current clients to invite family and friends to it. And you make it a free workshop and everything, but now you have an opportunity to bring more people into your facility.
Gotcha.
What I found was I lost right at 10% of my current clientele. But when I added that value, most of the people wanted to stay. And then I added like another 15% of new clients that saw the value in my program. So in the long run, I made money on doing it and added more clients.
Gotcha.
But the big key is going to be what can you do to add, add a lot of value for that 10%.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have what you need right in your hip pocket. You said it right at the outset. You're an RD.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah.
So
we were kind of thinking that we would, for that semi-private rate hike, that's, we want to add the nutrition component, which would lead to, more success anyway. Instead of piecemealing it the way we kind of have, or like, addressing it when we think it needs to be addressed, like just encapsulate it from the beginning. We also, last year, and we've been hit and miss with it, but we're trying to systemize it now. We bought a heart rate monitor system that's kind of like Orange Theory type of sort of deal where they can get an emailed response back from their workout saying what their heart rate was, how many calories they burned, and kind of add that to their semi-private as well. So we were thinking about implementing that we're hoping that we can implement that from a semi-private standpoint and then keep our large group rates the same, but offer those as upsells to the large group if that's something that they're interested in without entering the semi-private model. So that,
I think it would be easier if whatever you do it across the board for you. And I mean, when you do this, you got to think about how much more work you're going to be adding to your workload already. So kind of think about that. And I'd be happy to get on another call with you sometime, because this is nutrition exact. I mean, I think with what you're doing, you need to make nutrition a part of your culture.
We actually,
and then add value with it. I'd be happy to get on separate with you. Not trying to sell you anything, just kind of give you some ideas what I did and how I do it.
Great, thank you.
what Rick said actually is exactly what we did, and it worked, and that worked perfect for us when we raised our rates. And actually I got the idea from Rick, and we added the nutrition in, right? We actually use the same thing that Rick uses, Pro Diets, and it's been easy for us to add to our we added the price increase, and we justified it with that, and it was like pretty much a no-brainer for most people. So it really worked out well. And then now our prices going forward, we built it in to the prices, which is what Rick had recommended to me to do. Built it into the prices, and it's been kind of golden from there, and the results are even better too.
Great, awesome.
I have a couple of thoughts with it too, Mike. And first of all, take Rick up on his suggestion to get him on the phone. That guy is a plethora of information that you can't appreciate until you get him on the phone. The other guy, once you get on the phone, is the other Mike, the guy right above you on my screen, and he runs athletes as well. So this is a natural fit for you two guys to be talking. But beyond that, I want to know Mike, when was the last time you raised your rates?
For our semi-private, for 5 years ago.
5 years. You don't need a justification, first of all, right? You just need to raise your dang rates.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And if I was you, if I was consulting you, here's what I'd do. I'd raise my rates today.
Okay.
I mean, this week, right?
Okay.
And then at the first of the year, I would raise them again. All right. And then every new customer who comes through the door is on the new rate, right? In January for sure. So I'd raise the rates for my current existing clients now. And at the first of the year, new trainers, new clients are all on an adjusted rate, even above and beyond that, starting at the first of the year. That's the way I would handle it. Raise your current rates for your clients, raise rates for all new coming clients starting at the first of the year. So you get 2 rate increases out of the bat, right? Mm-hmm. Now, to Rick's point, you already have your nutrition thing going on. You're a certified nutritionalist, so it's an easy justification. But even without it, dude, 5 years without a rate increase, everybody understands the cost of living, right? Mm-hmm. So you can claim that as well. So, and the last thing I'll say is what is the end goal for you in raising the rates? Is it you need a cash surge to help float, or is it that you just want greater monthly income? What are you looking for?
I think it's twofold. I think in that monthly income, part of that to compensate some of my quality staff better. And then secondly, I think more so that I think we have some people that, I don't want to use the derogatory term, but almost like have hung on from for a long time on old rates that, we kind of even grandfathered in and don't see the value in what we're doing, kind of like taking advantage of it. And I kind of want to use this as we're just going to tighten up the quality tenfold. And if you don't respect the quality to match the rate, then it's probably not a great fit.
All right. So here's what I would suggest then. This is what I was looking for. For those clients like you just spoke about, I would tell them the rates are going up, but wait, not yet, right? You can buy in for the next year paid in full at your current rate. That'll give you both the cash surge and your monthlies going forward if you'll play it right. Mm-hmm. Okay. But just remember that anytime you get money up front, you have to allot for the monthly loss going forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
it's funny, the whole psychology around raising the rates, and I understand the fear, but it sounds like you've got a good plan. It sounds like you've thought it through. It sounds like you know what your objective is, what you want to happen, and that's twofold, as you mentioned, which is increasing the revenue and then getting rid of some of the dead wood. And I think that's exactly the reasons to be doing it. And you know, when we came out with raising the rates back in MPE days, I remember working with clients, working with members then and talking about, and everybody was sort of fearful of doing it. And then we got a few people who did it and just had dramatic success with it. And then everybody wanted to jump in and do it. And so it's just a matter of having, you know, sort of faith that it will work the way you want it to work. As long as you know you're delivering value and you've got members, you know, clients who really appreciate what you're doing, they're not gonna blink. Most of them won't blink. They'll be like, "Hey, Mike, no worries, we understand." Yeah. But one last thing about this, so Mike, I would encourage you to dig into your numbers really seriously and make sure that you have a full understanding of, you know, how much revenue you need to increase by, and so you can compensate that staff accordingly, as you mentioned, and still have enough significant profit left over so that you're able to reinvest in the business and grow, and also put some aside. Make sure you understand those numbers. And then I would also plan for the attrition. I do a worst case scenario type thing where you say, you know, if you know that you've got, let's say, 20% of your clients are what we call C clients, or, you know, dead wood, people that really maybe don't appreciate you, then run the numbers based on losing 20% of your clients and see what happens there. Don't let that scare you off, because worst case rarely comes about, but you need to know it so that you can plan properly. You need to understand where the potential is.
No, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely.
Mike, by all means too. I missed the first part of the call, but like Aaron said, I'm more than willing to hop on the phone with you as well. I missed the first part of what you were saying. So if you want to hop on the call with me too, just let me know.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Definitely, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thanks for that, Mike. That would be great. And
real quick, if I can add in there, I actually went through the MPE program. Was my first real system. And I went 6 years of business and never raised rates. And I know the head trash that we have in there. And it's like, oh, I'm going to lose this and that. I think I lost 3 people, but what's already been said, the rate of, you know, cost of living, all these different things, but the quality if just like Rick was saying, adding more value. I have these ideas of things I want to bring to you guys, and in order for me to do that, this is where we need to be. We're the best and want to maintain being the best. I want to give you guys the most that we can give. And that's going to take, you know, these things being changed, whatever it is that, you know, you're investing in the business. If they understand that and knowing the fact that, hey, in 6 years, this is what I've been undercutting what we can provide. You know, I want to do more for you guys. And this is what we need to do. Believe me, everybody's going to leave and they're going to think we're already the highest. We already cost more than everybody else. But when you make that value apparent of what you're trying to bring to it, I think it'd make it clear. Believe me, it was one of the best things I've ever did, other than hiring other coaches. First move was raising the rates. Get over the head trash, make it happen.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well said, man. And that's just beautiful. That's universally, that's what I've seen, Mike, is that, and I think as long as you're doing a good job, and we assume that you've been in the business for a while, you got to be doing a good job. That worst case scenario will never come to pass. You'll be pleasantly surprised by what transpires as a result of it. But what the important thing is to take, one of the important things to take from what Calvin just said, is that the importance of clearly communicating with folks why you're doing this and how you're going to be improving going forward, what your plans are, and also looking at being careful about promising things that require additional hard costs. And if they do, make sure you factor those in, because obviously that's coming off the top.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I'd be happy to help you with, how to present it to everybody, because that'll be important, is how you explain them, the reasons you're doing it, but the value you're adding, you know, that's going to be really important. What you're going to find out is the ones that don't continue are typically going to be the ones that you probably needed to let go anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And last thing before we move on, Mike, I just want to reinforce what Rick said earlier regarding your status as an RD and how you should consider doing seminars around nutrition. with your credentials, that makes it even more compelling to people, and they want to hear what you have to say. And people are always open to learning about nutrition, and it's a beautiful way to generate leads, as Rick was talking about. So I highly encourage you to talk more to Rick about that and think that through and really leverage that skill set that you have.
Awesome. Thank you. No, that was great. Great advice. Thank you so much, everyone. Rick
let
and
me
Mike
ask,
will be reaching out too, so I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Let me ask you one more question before we leave, Mike.
Sure.
5 years. Why 5 years between rate increases?
Probably fear.
Okay. So and that's it right there. All right. So let me just give you a quick story. 10 years ago, when I first entered the world of personal training as an independent, private, one-on-one personal trainer, I didn't know how to price myself, so I priced myself at a whopping $12 an hour. Right. And I had this guy, he's about 6'2", and he's blonde haired, he's blue eyed, and he looks like cotton picking Thor. Right. His name's Harvey. And Harvey puts his arm around me one day and he says, "Aaron, how much do you charge?" And I was like, "I charge $12 an hour." And he said, "Would you like to know how much I charge?" And I was like, "Sure." He said, $70 an hour. Now this is forever and a day ago. All right. And I thought in my head, "You're a crook." But here's the paradigm shift, pricing paradigm shift he gave me that I never forgot, and I want to give it to you, right? And that is, people value you at the rate you appraise yourself. You should write that down.
I will.
People value you at the rate you appraise yourself.
That is a writer downer.
At the rate that you praise yourself, all right? And so from there, forever and for always, I never forgot it. If I say I'm worth $12 an hour, that's what I'm worth. If I say I'm worth $70 an hour, well, people who are willing to pay it believe me.
Yeah.
All right? And I'll leave you with that.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, great stuff, man.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, that was a good one. Good discussion there. Let's keep moving. Let me check in with Shondell. Shondell, if you can hear me, you got some questions, and now's a good time. Go ahead. If not, we'll just keep moving. Okay, we're going to keep moving. All right, Adrian.
Wait, Eric, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay, good. No worries. Is now a good time? If so, let us know.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Okay. Shondell's driving.
Let me see. I'm still driving, but
I can come back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can come back to you though. If it's good.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
All right, I can't hear you guys. Hold on one sec.
I don't want to hear a screeching tire in the background. That scares me.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Thought I took my video off too, but okay. All right. I don't know. Questions? Why? I mean, I did this week. I just launched Smart Star, and I also launched a check-in campaign. And so, as I've been reading on the post in the beginning, I think I've been doing pretty well with growing my numbers on my Get Fit Hollywood page. Majority of them are I would say at least 70% are active clients. But I also haven't really, other than sending one email, I haven't done any external marketing to my prospects or my database or any of that. So that's on the agenda for this coming week. And then as far as the Facebook check-ins, I mean, I think that from what I can tell, that kind of takes a little while to gain momentum. So I've had a few people doing it, but I mean, I'm not like, I don't think I'd be ready to write a decent check for at least about another 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, and that's fine, Shondell. Regarding the check-ins, it's really initially it comes. I mean, not just initially, probably ongoing. It comes down to how consistently you're telling that story, and getting positive reinforcement. You created that image, which is fantastic. So you can get folks using that, but it's really just a matter of every day getting your coaches and you making sure that your members are exposed to that call to action to check in.
Right. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been doing. And then this month, I mean, I really got to focus on lead generation. My leads have been like, and I take 100% blame for that. I've just kind of fell into a lull this past 2 months, and I wasn't really doing a whole lot of marketing other than, you know, my location is I get a lot of drive-bys and walk-ins, and I kind of count on that for like my absolute minimum lead generation. And I've kind of just relied on that and like whatever comes through my website. But lately I haven't been getting a lot of leads through my website. So I'm thinking of running.
You broke up on us, Sean. What are you thinking of doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go say that sentence again. What are you thinking of doing?
Just running some sort of front end short-term offer, 21-day challenge or a 30-day or something, just to kind of get a influx of people and some immediate cash flow.
Oh yeah, well, there's so many good ones out there. I know. I mean, there's so many good ones. Yeah, I think that's probably a wise idea. And also promoting your Smart Start group dramatically, but that's not going to generate new clients quickly. That's a progressive program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I kind of need to do something to generate an influx like quickly.
Do you have something that you've used before that's worked well?
I have so many. I mean, Eric, you know, I've been doing this forever, so I can't even tell. I have so much stuff now, I don't even know where it all is. Like, it's just overwhelming. And that's another one of the things I need to do is just kind of siphon through everything I've got and really, because I've got so much that probably 80% of it I don't even use anymore. So I'm sure, to answer your question, yes, I'm sure I do have something. Yeah. But I don't know if I want to do like a 6 week or something shorter. I've had success with 6 weeks. I've had success with 30 days. So I guess I just got to choose one and test it out and see how that goes.
Yeah, I think right now you're probably better off with a shorter term one, just because we're running into holidays. You know,
true.
We still got a little bit of time, but I'd keep that in mind. And then. True. Also, if you've got any numbers, go back and look at your last couple promotions that you did, your front end offer promotions, and see if you've got, you know, numbers that will help you make that decision based on, you know, what's worked best for you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's on my agenda for this weekend, to launch something starting next week.
And Shonda, let me ask: have you yet tried the referral? I mean, the greatest gift campaign inside the referral challenge?
I have not. I haven't even watched that video yet, but I can do that now.
Yeah, I would suggest you do that. It's an internal referral campaign, right? And getting your clients to bring new clients to you. And so check that out and see if it won't work for you. I bet it will. All
right. I'll do that. I'll do that now. Thank you.
Also, keep in mind, you've only got 7 weeks till the week of Thanksgiving. So you want to really look at that when you do whatever. I mean, if you were to market next week and fill a challenge, you can still do a 6-week challenge. If you don't feel comfortable with that, you probably need to look at something shorter term.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a 28 or 30-day challenge is probably where I'll go.
Yeah, good idea. And I like what Aaron said too. I would do internal and external simultaneously and drive hard with both of them, so you can, you know, grow quick, add some new members quickly before the holidays hit.
Yeah, you can effectively have 2 promotions going at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, and I also want to mention. Shondell and I go way back. So Jeremy and I go back almost 10 years. I think Shondell and I go back almost 15 years. No, a long time. And one of the things, for those of you on the call and listen to the recording, check out the image that Shondell created. That's she posted to the referral challenge today for her Smart Start marketing. Really good graphic image of her pointing up, which is very smart at the headline and everything. It's really well executed. Shondell, you did that on Fiverr, you said?
$5, and I ordered it yesterday, and the guy sent it to me this morning with 0 revisions necessary.
Sweet. If you get
So I'll post his name. A couple people have asked me. I'll post his name as soon as we get off this call, so you guys can reach out to him.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate that. Awesome.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
That is actually paying for speed perfectly executed right there.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, Shondell, anything else we can help you with?
Not at the moment, but I appreciate all you guys are doing, so thank you.
Hey, thank you. We appreciate you too. All right, very good. Let's keep moving then. Adrian, I'm going to jump over to you, brother. Let us know how things are going and what we can help you with. Adrian's asleep. Okay.
He locked up.
Oh, he's locked up. Okay. All right. Then Billy, let me jump to you. Let us know how things are going with you and
Billy.
any questions you've got.
You guys hear me now?
I had to mute myself on that one. I was laughing so hard.
Adrian's back from the dead. Do you want to go first, Adrian?
Yay. I can wait.
All right. All right, cool.
Go ahead, Billy.
All right, cool. So, oh, man. So I got to give you guys an update. Most of you, I know Rick, Adrian, Calvin, Mike, I think most of you guys were on the call last time. If you remember, I had to have a serious conversation with the guy. I want to give you an update. I'm just looking for maybe some support, encouragement, any advice. The pricing issue is very interesting on this call. I appreciate Aaron's quote. So long story short, we had the conversation. He decided to move on. I wrote a post about it in the VFM, and I posted it as per Aaron's, asking, and he decided to move on from that conversation of, about to be suspended. And 2 weeks later, he is open for business in his own facility that is, it's right between my two facilities. So I have two facilities that are about 12 or 15 minutes apart. He's about right in between both of them. So this week emotionally has been very difficult. It's something I had a lot of trouble with. It's not even so much the financial side of things, which I'm very optimistic about. I mean, there's definitely some short-term financial issues, but it's more of just the emotional stuff. He was a best friend, and I have all these weird feelings, and the clients leaving that I'm just shocked at some of them, all these kinds of things. So long story short, I know there's a lot to this. I don't want to hog the whole call here, but I guess the biggest issue that's going on right now is maybe I'm just, part of me is exaggerating it, but it seems like too many people are leaving, and he doesn't have any business sense, and I guess he'll obviously find this out, but he's essentially charging like half of what we charge, which is really impossible to make any money. So, for example, you guys, I'm on Long Island, New York. It is the most expensive place to live in the entire country, and he's charging $109 for 2 small groups a week. So it's like people that worked with him, and that looks pretty good because they think they're going to get the same thing for half the price. So anyway, that's what's going on, and it's like, meanwhile, I'm doing the producer challenge with Pat, and I'm like, we are just crushing it. Like, there's so many great things going on. We have a new corporate contract, a really big deal at Bethpage Federal Credit Union. We're signing up. Today alone, just on a Friday, which is normally a slow day, today alone, there's 5 new members, and they're all way higher priced than all these other people. So I know all those things. I know over time, things are going to die down and stuff like that, but it's a little scary. So the last thing I'll just share is one of our strong points has not been, part of it's because we were like in between leases and we weren't committed for an extended period of time, but we haven't done a really great job of keeping the facility updated. Like, for example, there's some paint that needs to be redone, and we share the bathroom with another business at one of our locations, and it's usually often pretty messy. So people are using that as well. It's not a ton of people. I know when you hear it, you think it's everybody, but there's some chit chatter. It's all from the older people. Like, hey, we can pay half the price and get a clean bathroom. What do you, and then there's an issue. There's somebody who's telling the clients, apparently it's not him. I don't know what to believe, but it's a client that's trying to get people to his place, whether it's through him or not, I don't know. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this stuff.
So I'll jump in here,
Yeah.
Billy. I haven't ever met you before, but I've been through this twice. And what I can tell you is don't let it diminish you building up those other people in your business, man. Because I did, the first time it happened to me, I did that. I went into my hole and I said, you know what? I'm not pouring into anybody else. I'm not going to pour into them and then let them walk out the door and do exactly what this person's doing to you. So that's my first thing for you. Don't let it change. I don't know you, Billy, but don't let it change who you are and pouring into those people that are still there. And for the rest of them, screw them, man. Because if they're willing to leave you and go do something for half price, they don't appreciate what you're doing for them, brother. So just stay the course, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let it deter you from who you are and building up other people. And just look at it like, you know what? I did something good for that guy. Regardless of what he does, those people will be back to you. I can guarantee it. So just stay the course, brother.
The ones you want, just like we mentioned to Mike earlier, the ones you want will come back.
Yeah, thank you guys. You know, it's funny because people are already saying that, even though it's so early. They're saying, hey, we're going to go there for whatever reason. They all have their different reasons, but we'll probably be back. And it's like,
well, let me jump in, Billy. I think, dude, I can tell you right now that the fitness industry is not for sissy.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to be in this industry, you're going to have this happen.
Yeah.
If you have been around long enough, it's just going to come, because personal trainers, as Michael Gerber says in the E-Myth, they have this entrepreneurial seizure, right? They think, oh, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you know, no margin, no business.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
These guys will be coming back to you in 6 months because the guy can't pay his bills.
Yeah.
Right? So, but beyond all that, I'm sorry that you had to go through the loss of a good friend, right? Because ultimately that's the real cost of this.
Yeah.
It's the emotional cost. It's the relationship cost. Everything else, dude, gets better. That's going to be the lasting wound. And that's what you need to plan for, Billy.
And unfortunately, I think you're realizing now what he valued more, the money over the friendship.
Yeah.
I hate saying it, but being the bearer of that, but that is the reality of it. And so I know he was a good friend of you, and I know because we had the personal talk about it, Billy. But like I said before, was you were going to find out what he's really made of.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that? And I think now you know. And so now you know how you need to approach it. Like Calvin said, go out and take care of your business, which you know the numbers, you know what needs to be done, and crush them.
Yep.
And the rest is going to take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy, real quick. I had a guy before I got in my facility, and I worked out the back of my truck, outside in the parking lot of a church. And one guy opened up this place. He's the only indoor fit camp in the area, and he's all this kind of stuff, basically anti what I was doing. And I had one of my clients go check him out, and he had a bunch of daggone machines and whatever it was the most ridiculous setup. And all he did was try to basically undercut me price. Everything he did, he was out of business in 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you look at it, somebody's charging crackhead prices, you're going to get crackhead results.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
I got to write that down.
I would absolutely try to crush him. Not try, I would crush him.
Calvin, repeat that, damn it. That was
I got it. I can tell you, Rick. Trust me, I wrote this one down. Charge crackhead prices, you get crackhead results.
Right. I gave an example of I think a few weeks ago we were talking about the guy and I think it was Listening for Success, and he said the mainstream barber came in town, and the guy was his own shop for years, and this corporate barbers came in for $10 haircuts, and he said, "What am I gonna do? They're gonna run us out of business." He said he put a sign on his door that said, "I fix $10 haircuts." So I mean, this is where you crush them, where you oversell, and you add that value and have interactions with every one of your clients that are there, and you build that value and that relationships. Because I know nobody in here, anybody who's left here, they come back and like, it's not home. I just talked to a friend of mine who went to it's not home. Yeah. I'm over here, but it's not home. Home is at Varus.
Yeah, let's trade. Yeah,
and that's what you want to make sure they know that Billy is my friend.
Yeah,
Billy's gonna be there for you know, for if something happened, whatever, Billy's going to be there for me.
Yeah.
As a friend. And that's the value that this guy obviously doesn't have because he didn't value your friendship itself.
Yeah.
So as much as a friendship, I would crush him and I'd be, you know, nice to him every time I see him, but I'm gonna absolutely run him out of business.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. A woman called to cancel 2 days ago, and then it's like junior high. Like she takes a picture of herself wearing our shirt, and she's on the way to our facility after she canceled because she still had some time left. And she said, I don't think I can do this. I love it here too much. It's like just silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy, the funny thing is, this guy was my highest paid trainer. He made over $45K last year. And it's like, I'm doing the math on these numbers. It's like he needs like 100 clients to maybe make that profit.
If it helps you any, Billy, Travis Merritt, who I know you know.
I heard, yeah.
Very good friend of mine, just went through the same thing. His highest trainer that he paid salary was making over $100,000 a year.
Yep.
Just did the same thing a few months ago. Travis, and took another one of his trainers with him.
Yeah.
So they both quit on the same day. It has been the biggest blessing in disguise for him. He is now netting in his business just himself $20,000 a month netting, semi-private, and these other two guys are probably 45 days from going under.
Yeah, I know. Like just saving his salary is going to make up for any of these people. I get all those things.
Yeah. Well, so just look at it. There's a reason it happened. There's a blessing in there.
Yeah.
You'll see it in time.
Yeah.
Let me jump in one last time on this comment, Billy, and because the real toll here is your emotional toll.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as I was sharing with Adrian the other day, I'll share it with you. During these emotional highs and lows, all right, you remember the painful points in your life, and you remember the high points in your life, and you almost forget everything in between.
Yeah.
But when are you most productive? You're most productive in between, right? And so here's what you need. Here's what I would advise you to do. You need an emotional strategy plan to get back to neutral. All right, take a look at me right here for a second, okay? You've got your lows over here. This is your depression, your despondency, everything that you're going through that's bad. Here's your high points where life's elated and you're just great, right? Both of those are temporary, dude, except for this one, which is the lows. This one can get you locked in and you can't break loose. All right, this is why people are medicated. You never see people medicated over here on the highs, right? They're medicated over here on the lows. And so this is why you need a strategy, not to go from here to here. That's too big of a jump. You need a strategy to go from here to here. That is from lows to neutral. The highs will automatically come to neutral. And so here's ultimately what it means for you. If you've ever had a screaming headache that you just wish would go away, and then you take some aspirin or whatever, and the headache finally breaks, how great do you feel? How great does it feel to just feel normal, right? And so when you have these emotional lows, you need an emotional strategy to get to neutral, and it will help to break the headache, and you'll just feel great, right? So this is the real threat for you, is the emotional lows, and I would just encourage you to have a strategy to beat it.
That's awesome stuff, man. And I'll just share real quick, you know, the strategy that helped me, Billy, after I sold NPE and I found out a bunch of stuff, and it was just really damaged my feelings about my former partner. And it was terrible. And I really felt like this guy I thought, you know, Sean was I considered him one of my closest friends, and for 5 years. And then I find out afterwards it's not like that at all, or at least he certainly didn't reciprocate those feelings, and he demonstrated that in various ways. And so it hurt me to the core, and it was hard to come to terms with all that. And I was jaded and pissed off. And finally I just sat down and wrote. And what I did was I wrote a letter to him. I never mailed it, but I wrote a letter. And it was very cathartic. And I would encourage you to do that too. You like to write. You're a good writer. It'd be good for you to get those thoughts out on paper. I think you'll find it'll help you. You don't appear to be too hung up on it, but it's hard to tell. Outwardly, people wouldn't have guessed that I was too hung up on it, but like Chameleon knew because I was talking to her about it all the time. She's like, "You're so crazy if you don't do something about it."
Yeah.
So,
I'm more hung up on it than I would like. It's very near. It just happened. So I'm very optimistic. I'm an optimistic kind of guy. Like I don't get caught up deep depression and stuff like that. But it's definitely Aaron's highs and lows for sure. Like this morning, the sun is shining. I got 3 new clients before 9 o'clock. The gym is rocking. I feel great. And then I see one of my coaches, and she's like, yeah, such and such quit. She said she was going to stay, but then she talked to somebody, and she decided she's going over there. And then I'm like, so it's just going to be a little bit of that. And I agree with Aaron about the having a plan for that, and the letter idea is great. Because I go through these weird feelings where I'm like, I want to kill the guy, and then I'm like, I want to help him because I love him. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a strange dynamic that goes on. But disloyalty, that's one of the things I can't stomach it, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. My staff, my team is like, I'm like overwhelmed by their reactions. Like just really heartbroken. This one woman, Kathy, she's so great. She's like, I'm 50 years old and I can't even sleep at night because it's killing me that he's doing this to you. And that's what I'm hearing from the staff. And it's like, it's wild.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's nice that they've got your back.
I know.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing, Billy, because it's educational. I thinking back over my career doing this a long time, I think it is the single most common story that I have heard over the years. Just the disloyalty of trainers or clients. It's one or another,
Yeah. It was funny. I kind of thought it wouldn't happen to me. Like I never made me admitted it, but I'm like, they probably in the back of my head, I'm like, they probably weren't really taking care of them, and that's why. But I'm different. I really take care. It was a wake up call and a humbling experience for sure. I think like Rick hit it on the head. I think long term, it's gonna not even that long term, but in a few months we'll realize it was a blessing. All these clients gonna be replaced. And we have a better unity amongst our team and nothing but moving forward.
Yeah.
And if you're in this business long enough, this will happen to you.
Yeah.
We've all had it happen.
Yeah. And that's great for me to hear too, because you think you're alone and you're talking to these guys that you respect and they're like, yeah, it happened to me twice and this and that. And it's like, it's part of that. It's part of the growth process. Because as we grow, we can't stay as close to the business. I'm going to have 3 kids and I'm not going to be there for 12 hours a day. My family's more important. So I'm going to have to risk those relationships being formed. I can still text and send cards and all that. But at the end of the day, they're seeing this guy 3 times a week. He opens up down the block for half the price. It would be weird if nobody left.
Yeah. Let me just say this, Billy. I mean, everything in your future, everything current and in the future, depends on you being able to trust your staff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so do that. All right. Yeah. Do trust your staff. Don't let this one bad experience ruin everything else going forward.
Great.
Yep. Continue being you. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Aaron said. You'll figure out what that system is. With me, it was just to concentrate on work. When I concentrated on work, I wasn't thinking about what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because I was concentrating on the one person I should be concentrating on, myself and my business.
Yeah.
And just like you, I knew that if I knew what I need to do in my business, they're not competition. They're just in my way. I'm going to step over.
Yeah.
And that was my attitude. And this was a person who truly was my best friend too.
Yeah.
And when he didn't have work, I brought him in.
Yeah, same thing. That's how he started with me. Exactly.
So, but I also have learned now, to be a little callous to it, and like I said, so when it happened, it's like, well, now we're competition. Now you want to be competition.
Yeah.
You're going to see the real Rick. The real Rick will bury you, and lo and behold, I did.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this past week, I found myself driving by, seeing who's there, checking his Facebook. It's that's done. I'm stating that here and now. That is over. Like next week,
stop right now.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I promise you guys.
Yeah, don't become a stalker.
No.
Yeah, but it's always so healthy to talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
Get it out, just vent it a little bit. And Adrian, I know you can relate, and we all can. I think anybody who's lived long enough will get burned by somebody they know and really care about at some point in life. And it's so important for us not to question, hey, is it me? Did I fuck up?
I definitely did that. Yeah.
There's a lot of, certainly you should be introspective and say, is there something I could have done better? And maybe there is. But generally speaking, there's a lot of weird people out there who are just, we're going to do weird things.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was interested in his agenda, not yours, which most people are.
Yeah. Is there anything I should do at this point other than make sure I'm doing the best I can, being me, connecting with people? Am I doing anything with addressing the people that I think are probably on the fence, or just let them make their decisions?
If you don't have if you didn't have a non-solicitation agreement in place, get one now.
Yes, I did, but I didn't do anything about it.
Well, you should. You should. I mean, if it's solid, you should do something about it. You should make that known to all those people leaving that we have a solid non-solicitation, and understand that I'm going to demand him paying me the portion that's listed in my agreement.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I don't have that. I had a non-compete with him, but.
Well, then reach out to me. I'll send you mine.
Yeah, great.
I mean, because non-competes really are about worth a piece of paper they're written on in most states. But a non-solicitation, any judge is going to honor.
Good. That's good.
That's really good advice, Rick. And interesting, I agree with you about the non-compete. So difficult to enforce. But one of the things that you can do with it, which can be very helpful, depending, but it can be, is just have your lawyer send a very hard written letter basically threatening what is going to occur if the competition does not cease and desist. You don't have to bring a lawsuit or anything like that. Just, have them send a letter.
But it'll scare the hell out of them.
Yeah, I think so.
It will scare the hell out of them.
And if he's struggling with the money, if he's undercutting prices that bad and he's not really making much, he doesn't have any money to go and hire an attorney to do any kind of legal work to find out if that shit, am I really going to be in trouble or not?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I will send you a non-solicitation that you need to start using right away.
I will,
mine has a quote-unquote non-compete, but I know that's worthless. But I also know that non-solicitation is golden.
Yeah. My only concern with the letter from the lawyer is, and it's probably just not really valid, but there's a lot of lies being told by him to these people, and now
you'll have a copy of the letter. Let him.
Yeah.
He can lie all he wants. The people will see the truth.
Yeah.
When what he's saying and what he's doing doesn't align with each other, people will see it. And when what you're saying and what you're doing are in alignment, they're going to see that too. The truth always comes out. So let him say what he wants. That doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
What matters is what he's doing and what you're doing.
Yeah. The other option, of course, is just say, it's all behind me.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only reason I agree with Eric, because it could stop the bleeding with other people leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've seen it used in many different cases very effectively.
Okay.
But it comes down to a personal decision. You don't want to bother with it. So just food for thought. That's all.
And if there's any comfort you can take revenge-wise, which, is not a nice word to use, but the guy's going to wake up one day and go, oh, my God, how am I going to pay rent today?
It's either that or he'll just always be too stupid to realize. Like, it's one of the two, because the whole thing doesn't make any – I know his personal situation very well because we were best friends. He has less than no money to start, so I don't know.
And doesn't he have a family and everything?
Yeah. What's that?
Doesn't he have a family?
Yeah, 3 kids, and on Long Island, like me. His wife homeschools one of their kids, or she was. So the whole thing is just very, very bizarre.
It's sad. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because anyway, well, just keep on rocking and rolling, brother, as you know.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Very good. Well, let's move on. Adrian, let's get to you. Give us an update and let us know what we can help you with.
I think I saw in the chat. I don't sleep with my eyes open. think that happened.
I'm not a vampire.
They were wide open if you were asleep.
No. Ever since I was a little baby, I sleep like conked out. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where to start. I think this is one of those calls where I'm just kind of going through stuff and listening, I guess. I will say Aaron has helped me out a lot moving through all the transition period and stuff like that. Him and I actually had a really good call the other day, kind of having like a leveled heart to heart about where I am, kind of with like the overall vision, the purpose of why like I got in business in the first place, which is helpful. Which, by the way, Billy, if the guy who opened up, like, and we've all experienced this, if he doesn't have like a solid foundation as to why he's in business, he'll flounder before you do. So there's that too. But it was a good call. I think it helped me a lot to kind of reorganize and reprioritize. So I'm on because I know that in 2 years' time, I am going to leave FitBody as a franchise because they haven't really been supportive to me in the first place. And ever since finding this group, it's been a total 180, which is for the better. So I feel like I'm with a new group of people who have actually supported me. You guys have always made me feel like supported and cared for. So that's like awesome. So I'm kind of on a personal mission now to make my current facility the blueprint for what will be known as, well, I don't know yet. Still figuring that out. So I get to embark on that creative process. And I think I'm kind of getting my team involved. The two coaches who are still with me after the recent fallout. So I got them involved in trying to help me kind of create the future of what this is going to be. So that's my big project right now. I'm just writing it all out. Aaron's making me write it all out, which is good. Like everything, every single step, every single process, everything we do, to really have it written down. Because right now, obviously, it's all here, right? But every single step-by-step process, having that written down will be good. And then, let's see. So that's one thing. And I know that's a big overarching thing. And we can talk about that if we want to, but I don't feel the need to. I just want to write it out and kind of get it out there. So I'm kind of embarking on that process. I recently, this has been going on for the past like 7 months, but I finally decided to pull the trigger on doing a print newsletter for clients. So that'll be good. That'll be fun. So we're going to have that in place pretty soon. And then what else? I signed up for that Master Your Business workshop. So Eric, I'll be seeing you in like 2 weeks.
Outstanding. Good.
That'll be fun.
Good.
Yeah. Calvin's going too. So that'll be fun. Catherine's come with me, so you get to meet her too, even though she's super shy and never comes on these calls.
I look forward to it.
So that's good. And then other than that, I've just been, I haven't done much in terms of the Smart Start group. I just got my domain name, but I haven't done any much with that. Lead generation this month has been slow, kind of just because this month for me has just been damage control with the 2 trainers leaving and the clients kind of having their tizzies and whatnot. So it's fine. Like everything's okay. You know, some people are going to fall off the face of the earth, but it's all right. Like the clients who are falling off are in the early 20s, like the coaches were anyway. So,
that's good to hear. Let me just, that's good to hear you say that you're okay with it, that you're, you want to do the best you can and try and build a fence around your herd and retain them with value, but people are going to go. People are going to come and go, and it's important for you, for your mental health, to be okay with that that's just a reality. So good.
I think that's huge based on what I've heard from you in the past. I think that is whatever Aaron's been telling you, my God, I think that to change that mindset for you is massive. So
it's been hard. It's hard. And like when Billy was saying how like he has these moments of like, it's 9 a.m., the sun's coming up, we got 2 members. And then like that afternoon, like a trainer comes up to me and says the client's leaving, and it's like I get it totally. Like that's how that's like my modus operandi, but I'm learning that I need to, I don't know how yet. And Aaron is charging me with the task of coming up with a plan to get to neutral. you know, and I'm still trying to figure that piece out because it's hard for me because I'm very emotionally driven. Like I just am, you know, it's a strength of mine when it comes to people, but it's a weakness when it comes to my business. So it's hard for me to not
say something, Adrian.
Huh?
Because I see, like, can I say something? I see a lot of, you're the same way I am. And at first, when I first started, I was always go, go, go. It was all behind the scenes, right? But what you said earlier, that you're starting to talk with your team, the two coaches on your team. When I made that transition and brought my team on to actually see the vision and see how passionate I was about everything that I was doing and the drive and how everything that I do and how bad I want to make it work for them and for all those things, the difference in the output of my coaches was tenfold, because I think they started to look at it as more than just a position where they're coming in and punching the time clock and working with people. They actually see that they're working for something more, and they get to know how passionate you really are about it. And they don't look at you as the typical, you know, the job you had maybe as a kid growing up, where you look at it and like, oh, here's the boss, or oh, the boss is here, got to run. You don't want them to look at you as that person and not have that. You want them to have that emotional contact to you too, so that they feel more loyal to you. And I think involving them in your vision, where you want to go, I think is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
That was beautifully said. And I'll tell what you just described, Mike, is leadership. That is the definition of leadership, what you just described. And that's when people start to perceive you as a leader, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. And that's beautiful. The way it goes back to what you, Adrian, when you first started talking, one of the first things you said was how Aaron is helping you get clear. It sounded like you said something along these lines, get clear on your core values, mission, and vision. And those things, that's the foundation of everything. And I think whenever you get too emotional, that's what grounds you. If you can, revisit that, that's what will ground you, not just you personally, but grounds your business. And it's so important to have that framework, those guardrails. That's how you move forward productively on a consistent basis, as opposed to just being up and down like that.
Yeah, and it's ever since starting that type of conversation with the team, it's kind of affected how I talk to new people coming in too, because I don't just lead anymore with just saying hi and getting them in, but it's more about, hey, this is why we're here. This is how we do things, and how can we help you? So it's different, which is good. So I'm noticing a shift in how I communicate to people too. So that helps. It helps to me to have a starting point with that. So, but yeah, ultimately, I don't know. I don't have any pressing issues. I think the most important thing right now for me is to just develop my leadership skills. I know that in the future, I do want to have somebody who can be like that right-hand man who can run a facility, where if I want to go open another one, I could. I know that's the goal. So I guess I don't know where to start working on that. And I know that Aaron and I have been talking about it too. So that's the one thing I'm keeping in the back of my mind,
Let me just jump in here. You all have been on these calls with Adrian from day one. This is a different guy today.
Yeah.
Can you see how calm, cool, and controlled this guy is today? Yeah. He's growing, dude.
Yeah. No doubt. You definitely are. And it's awesome to see, because frankly, it looked like you were sort of mired. You were stuck there for a while, and now you've broken free. You're flying.
My butterfly.
Like a little kid.
Really good. I'm making light of it, but it's really good.
I should have seen it coming, Adrian. I should have braced you for all the
Thanks, Aaron.
that was coming next.
Appreciate it.
You got all the potential in the world, but potential's anywhere. I mean, you've got more than potential because you've proven it. But having potential is one thing. It's doing really maximizing it. That's what we're all here to do, is to get the most out of what we've got.
Yeah. So, and I was kind of stuck in a rut because the shock factor, I think, because from what you experienced with your partner, Eric, on a much smaller scale, that's what I experienced with the two trainers leaving. you know, so it was tough. And that's what got me, because you can't stomach like disloyalty or betrayal. Like I probably can't stomach it 8 times as much as you, you know, like I hate it. I absolutely hate it, you know, so that's what got me the most, I think.
The thing is, and the important point I was trying to make there is that it's not about you. It's the disloyalty is not your problem. It's that knucklehead's problem, because they got the screw loose. There's something wrong. For somebody to turn on someone who's been so good to them for so long is messed up.
Yeah. So, but it's been good. So I'm kind of like, I'm still kind of in the water, because what I'm doing right now is kind of like reorganizing the structure of how we do things. So I'm still putting pieces back together based on what I learned from the past like year. So not everything is set. I'm still kind of like just waving around. But in the meantime, I mean, things are going all right, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Excellent.
One thing too, I'm just saying it before I forget. I'll post about it in the group. We came up with a really sweet idea. If you guys ever do like a client of the month thing, we're working on getting like a championship like wrestling belt for the client of the month. So that would be, I'm going to post about it once we get it, but that's going to be fun. So I'm working on that too.
I saw where you were asking about a graphic designer for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
I took note of that this morning.
Yeah. Cause I have no idea how to do that with a belt, but I'm sure somebody does. So that'll be fun. And then that'll go in like the print newsletter. They'll have an article about the client of the month. So I'll post about that and let you guys know. But I thought that would be kind of fun to share. So
I think that's a great idea. And not just in the print newsletter, but you should do like a video interview of the person, like become Joe Rogan, like in the MMA. You know, hey, congratulations on winning. That kind of, you ask them some questions and, you know, get their feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great, man. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, Calvin, you there?
Looked like somebody came in that he wanted to give a big hug to.
Yeah. All right. Anybody, Adrian, anything else, or are you done? Are you good?
Trying to think.
Calvin.
Is he there?
Yeah, because we got to shut this down if he's not. I don't want to get him to pop on, but
well, let's see.
Sorry, go ahead, Adrian. Did you have something else?
I'm just racking my brain about different methods of lead generation. I did join that producer challenge that Pat's hosting right now, so that's been fun to do too.
I've heard it's his best program. Billy, isn't this your second time around? Third?
I did it the first time and generated like $80,000. The very first one he did. It's a great program.
Yeah. I
mean, it's something, just the accountability, how it keeps you on point. I know Billy's done well the last 2 times. I mean, because I obviously follow it because I'm close to Pat. You know, it is. I mean, if people get in there and actually do it, Eric, it's a great program. It really is.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic. Randy Hartz is also, I've talked to him about it. He's just gushes over it everybody that, you know, Pat does good shit.
Yeah, he does.
That's good work.
So if you just do what you need to do, Adrian, you'll be fine.
Word.
Excellent. All right. Anybody else got anything then?
I've got an update for you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't even.
That's all right. I'm used to it. No.
I apologize.
First things first, I want to personally, because I haven't had a chance, tell Adrian congratulations.
Thank you.
But I haven't had a chance to tell you personally, so I wanted to do that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And condolences to your wife.
Yeah, condolences, yes. God bless the woman. She must be strong.
Patient.
I've been falling a little bit behind on the Smart Start thing. I've had a lot of other things going on. One of them was dealing with the issue on our online nutrition thing. There was a major problem with ClickFunnels and Stripe wanting to play well as far as a paid trial, the way we talked about. Well, come to find out, everything we were doing was correct. None of the ClickFunnels wasn't on Stripe's side. The problem was with ClickFunnels. Their developers, I was dealing with their head developer, and they couldn't figure it out. Come to find out, it had nothing to do with what we were doing. It had, and I just stumbled upon it just 2 days ago, actually. It had to do everything with ClickFunnels itself. When I was double clicking in the bump order for the trial, it wouldn't work. And when I didn't do that and I dragged and dropped it in, it worked. So I'm glad to say that we've now got that figured out. I've tested it constantly over the last few days. It's working like a charm now. So we'll need to probably get together soon, Eric, so I can show you what's going on so we can start letting these guys integrate it and actually monetizing those groups as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that because I think it's another great, I mean, start talking about a little more nutrition in those groups people love that stuff. They love to hear it. So
and something else we're doing with that now with the pro diets. Got my developers working. We're actually integrating JLab Pro, Jason Hunter's supplements right into it. So they're going to be live affiliate links for anybody that's using pro diets, which is what we use as the driver for the online group anyway. And so it's also going to increase people's supplement sales because that'll be live links. It takes them straight to a sales card that has your link embedded in it. For example, they buy a protein powder and you're making your 30% commission.
Beautiful.
So we're going to help generate some supplement sales with that as well, guys.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And that's Jason Hunter's. Jason's the man when it comes to.
He's one of the top RDs in the country. Just really good guy, and what he's doing is awesome. That's why I support him so much. I mean, he's a genuine good guy. He's another Eric. He's another Aaron. He's another Pat Rigsby or Alicia.
Yeah, that's right. No, I agree. And he knows the supplement business inside and out. And so he's an expert.
So it's going to be really cool the way we're doing that. It's pretty exciting. And, so to the point where next week while I'm down in Mexico, I will be working on getting this thing all done and completely wrapped up.
Okay, sweet. Are you going to Mexico on vacation or is this business?
Vacation. I'm actually going to take a trip this time, first one in a while that's actually going to be, and it's going to be an adult vacation, not my daughter this time. So, and then when I get back on Monday, I immediately turn around Wednesday to head out to NorCal.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
So.
Yeah, busy times. All right. Well, good that you're getting a little chance to recharge before NorCal. Yeah, that's good.
That's the whole reason for it. But I will be working a little bit each day down there in the morning.
All right. Well, listen, as always, Rick, you add so much value to these calls, and I really appreciate it. And I apologize for the oversight not calling on you. But that's only because we interact so much during the calls that I just face it. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It was no big deal. I just wanted to give you an update on what was going on with on the nutrition component for the online groups, for the community groups.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. All right, very good. Anybody else got anything before we wrap it up? Nope. Okay. Calvin, if you can hear us, sorry, brother. We'll get to you first next call. Oh, Calvin's back. All right, good. Calvin, you want to give us an update?
I'm sorry to keep back and forth, whatever, because I just had a bunch of drama. One thing working with one of my coaches is dealing with a real life situation of husband maybe seeing time. Former husband maybe seeing time, and she just came back and was talking about that situation. Won't get into details behind it, but yeah, that's the coach that I hired. So actually, Michelle's in the background, my overlord of operations, and folks just came in here. But anyhow, so yeah, one thing I know I have to do. My folks have been trained to see the little Sweat Angels deal at the wall to know which one it is. So I need to make a sign to put a sign up over there so they know what the new one is. I made a whole video and talked about what's the new procedure for cystic fibrosis and whatnot. And actually, with my little black dress project, I brought in, there's another lady who just joined who has cystic fibrosis as well. So I've got 3 folks that are out of the 19 in this area that actually have cystic fibrosis that are actually in the gym. So it's going to be pretty good to even push that. I'm going to get all 3 of them to do like a little mini commercial to kind of build it out too as well. Little Black Dress is going well. I already got some people saying, oh, I'm all in, I'm a lifer, coming back in and this and that. I have one lady who was actually 8 years ago, she was in my first class that I had in the parking lot. She's actually back and talking about she's going to be back forever, so that was pretty cool to get that. We're talking about reactivation. That's the next thing I want to do after this is kind of get some reactivation for stuff going in towards the end of this year, going into the new year. So that's our goal is to get the numbers. Right now, we're at about 94. I got to look at the numbers again. I want to max this thing out at about 150. And that's kind of where we need to get fuller. As I said, I want to be at it. If I have that, the next phase is I want to pay my coaches more. And my next phase right now, one of my coaches is 20 weeks pregnant, and she has 5, and she's pregnant with twins.
Wow.
Oh, there's a chance. I know she's saying everything. I'm going to be back and this and that, but I already talked to my other coach. Say there's a chance that she may not be back. We kind of put that in awareness. But if she does, that's going to be the transition to bring in where now I'm coaching a little bit less than 50% of the classes. The next phase is everybody having one morning and one afternoon, and then we all have basically quarter. Because I still want to be in the trenches, but just not as much, obviously. So now I'm doing less than 50%, and actually Rick is the reason of that even taking place as far as me having coaches. So I'm always eternally grateful for that. And the next phase is to be able to go to that. So obviously we need to have the revenue. I need about another 15 to 20 to be able to take the next pay raise up there to bring everybody up to the next level. So that's kind of where my numbers are. Looking at the numbers of where we need to get. Let's see. Yeah, we're in the 3rd week. Doing a bonus class tomorrow for all the little black dress folks. I'm going to do a question and answer after that, and working on trying to get them into some of the supplements and things of that too as well. So yes, I do need to get with you, Rick, on the programming and things of that too as well. But that's mainly it. I'm going to be gone for an entire week. I'm going to a guys retreat once again. Opportunity to be gone for a week, and the gym's going to be running straight and everything while I'm gone up in Estes Park, Colorado. So I'll be up there for a week, a spiritual retreat, back here and get things cranking out. So the following week, obviously, I'll see you at the end of the week down there in Houston. So things are going. Still need to put more time into my Get Fit group that I have not done what I need to do. Before last, we had to get off because we were closing calls on the little black dress deal. And so that's where I'm at. I mean, like I said, I'm just basically listening to a lot of stuff you guys got going on, but we're moving in the right direction and just trying to get everything systemized. My desk is a mess because Michelle's making me get all my stuff out and clean my desk. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah, that sounds good. You got a lot going on, and that's great. Do you document all this stuff? Do you have everything sort of written down?
Yes, actually, I have Bubble. I use Bubble as far as I have a whole map of my mind map and stuff like that. But then in Trello, I use Trello to chart the things of where we need to go. So everything is in there. My staff and I, we communicate through Trello and Marco Polo is what we do. But everything is either in my mind map, or it's in between that, or in my Trello as far as everything that's coming up. Excellent. So I mapped out where I need to go. It's just like we were talking about last time. For me, it's what's next. What's next? Obviously, you can't just, yes, the one thing, but it's the one thing in each of these areas. Some of them just can't be like, oh, yeah, we got the network marketing products. I can't touch that at all until later. No, you lose everything. So there's a process of some of that still being in the background, but they're, getting everything to flow in the right order of what's the priorities. That's the kind of part where I still struggle with a little bit as far as figuring out what's next, what's the priority, what needs to be in place, other than this being my standard operating procedures of everything that we pull it from here. And that's what I just told them. We had a staff meeting yesterday, and I told my team, my goal is to have as few amount of systems in place to do the most. So I want to use the onboard, take the stuff we're getting from the onboard here and put it in the Coach Catalyst and put it into this system and try to use that and have everything set up in those particular small groups is what I'm trying to get going.
Yeah.
My one question to you, just because I know you probably better than everybody else in here, Calvin, and how you get a bunch of things going.
You've seen all my sexiness. I know. I get it.
Yeah. And what do you have? What are you going to get to the finish line right away? I want you to tell me because you got a bunch of things going. Which one is going to get to the finish line? Which one or two? So you're going to get off your plate and it's done, so you can concentrate on the others.
It is the number one thing that has to get done is the get fit Highland Lakes group. Everything has to be established. That's the number one thing that has to.
And when's it going to be done?
Well, I know I'm out next week, so by the end of the week after that, I can get it done.
Okay. Post that in the group so we all know it.
So before I go to Houston and see Aaron, I'm gonna get that done. I got Michelle right over here is the witness that I have to get that done.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I'm just saying because I know you. And yes. I want to know what you're going to get done and off your plate, and then what you're going to next.
Yes, I'm the king of squirrel. So
I like that question. Are we going to finish this first?
Can you tell I've dealt with him before?
Yes.
I know what Kelvin needs to get stuff done.
Yes, I need zookeepers. I'm a zoo and I need zookeepers, and you guys are definitely this group, and what you guys are doing is helping keeping the lion in the daggone cage, getting it done. So I appreciate it. Thanks for calling me out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, and it's good that you're aware of your your traits. Your tendencies. That's important.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you just broke up on us, Calvin. I think he probably just unplugged his internet when he moved his phone or something. All right, guys, and we're going to go ahead.
I got Molly, Michelle's cousin. Oh, I'm sorry. I think okay, yeah. They're in here moving my desk around. And
the line in the zoo.
They're in and making changes right now that I guess I have to be okay with. So, yes, I'm okay with that. So, yes. All got to be done.
Have fun in Colorado. Enjoy yourself up there, and I look forward to seeing you in Houston. It'll be good.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Good.
Thank you all.
All right, guys. That's it. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate your time today. Have a great weekend, okay?
Thanks a lot.
See ya.